Katrina Storm, or Hurricane Katrina, however you wanna, play around with that. I am a wrestling broadcaster, writer, press, and I have with me some lovely ladies who are gonna have to introduce themselves and tell you guys what they do.
Go Lala.
Test that. What's up, guys? My name is Ruthless Lala. I've been a professional wrestler for 24 years.
I know, right? You're making your
I'm originally from Texas, and now I'm a New York resident. So,
yeah, we'll get into it a little bit later, but I'm gonna pass it.
Hi, my name is Dolli Darko. I've been a professional wrestler for about 4.5 years, based out of Long Island, New York.
Yeah!
I have a martial arts-based style of wrestling, where a lot of strikes and kicks involved. A lot of that is implemented with my wrestling moveset as well, to give be part of a little bit of diversity in wrestling, a different flavor of ice cream, and I'm excited to share my experiences as well.
I like ice cream.
Hello, I'm Sammi Chaos. I'm from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and I've been wrestling about the same time, like 4.5, 5 years.
Yeah!
And I'm just a big bitch, and, and I like to beat up other bitches.
I'm Yolanda the Designer. I've been designing these clothes, like normal apparel that you find in stores, since I'm 3, low key or 1. I started my journey as a wrestling designer for pro wrestling gear and merchandise since 2008, so y'all can do that math.
hey guys, I'm Pro Wrestling's Red Flag, Shea McCoy. I can always count on you guys. I've been wrestling for about 7 years now, and we made it. We did it. I've been wrestling for about 7 years now, primarily as one half of the outfielders with Weber Hatfield. I love tag wrestling, and getting to be in an intergender tag team has been a fun experience. And yeah, been a fun chat with you guys.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. So my first question for you ladies is, now we know this is a male-dominated sport, and so what would you say is like the role of women in professional wrestling has changed from, let's say, the 1950s to now?
They actually give us time. There's been so many occasions where like the women's matches have only been 2 to 4 minutes, and I'm like, what do you want me to do in 2 to 4 minutes? It feels more like we have actually been given room to grow and play different characters, because a lot of the time it feels like, well, we got the token women on the show, and it's just like, what's her character? I don't know, woman? We have so many different kinds of gimmicks now, and women that have permission, it feels like, to, do their own thing and try different things, and that's awesome.
Alright, mine's a little different. I'm not sure if I have that, if I can be honest. It's still dominated with gear makers, it's still dominated with designers. If anything, I paved the way for us to be respected in this space.
Well, it's changed a lot because, yesterday I was part of a all-women's main event match.
Yeah!
Let me pause you right there for a second. Let me tell y'all about Miss Sammi Chaos, because I was just saying before the panel started, I wish she had all her 5 titles, because this is that girl. Or like you said, that bitch, she's that bitch. Okay, continue, I just wanted to say that. My bad.
But yeah, it goes from, you know, the token one woman match on a show, and then I was part of a show the other day where it was sandwiched by women's matches, and I think it depends where you go. It's still very much a male-dominated sport, and I don't know, I think we just gotta keep proving people wrong, because I think a lot of people just see us as, not to be vulgar, but like a pair of tits and ass, and you know, it's not that, where we fight. Dolli fights, Ruthless Lala fights. This girl, look how good she looks. She fights, like we all fight, and we're sticking it to the man, and that's it. I'm looking at you. No, I'm just kidding. Looking at you.
No, we love you.
I feel like women's wrestling has progressed and evolved in a lot of ways, and we're definitely starting to be taken a little more seriously. Like for the longest time on the longest shows, you were lucky if there was even one women's match, and unfortunately a lot of people would just kind of treat it as like an excuse for a pee break. And now you're seeing women doing solid matches that are like 10-15 minutes long, women doing main events, all women's shows. And yes, there's room for improvement, especially in a male-dominant industry, to be taken more seriously, but we show we have a lot more grit, a lot more passion, and a lot of times we hit even harder than the guys. Like I once had a male wrestler told me I hit like a 200-pound man, someone up, and mind you, I'm 5'1", and 120 pounds, but apparently that's a high all right till the day I die. So if anything, we just show that we have a lot more power to bring, and there's a lot of hope along that way in the progression.
Being in as long as I've been in, women's wrestling back in the day, and I started in 03, so women's wrestling back in the day was legitimately a concession stand break, a restroom break, a smoking break, because nobody literally took women's wrestling serious, because legitimately it was just how great you look, how much makeup you could put on, and how great you look in the thong, and yet you still want me to call this a family show. That doesn't make any sense. And now it went from that to where now you have women such as myself making the men's PWI or getting recognized because I beat up dudes 10 times my size, and I make guys fear, you know, to ever get in the ring with me. And that's kind of things you want, because when I'm in this ring, I am a woman, but I'm a wrestler. Point blank period. Like, I've worked really hard to get to where I've gotten to now, and yes, we always gonna put on because women do run the world, but at the same time, when we get in this ring, we literally just wanna be equals. That's it, you know, like, cause when you get in this ring, whether you're tall, you're short, you're big, you're small, everybody's a wrestler in here, and we have to look and take care of each other. So I say now, it's to the point where it's gotten a lot more respect, and I feel like as much and as long as women keep standing 10 toes on, hey, you need women wrestling. You know, women's wrestling needs to be more than just one match on the card. It needs to be half of it, because you have a lot of talented female wrestlers out here that is like grinding, such as Dolli and Shea and Sammi Chaos, and they don't really get the attention that they should, because, you know, hey, you can look up here and see this is nothing but diversity. You know, you don't have like a small person, you have any style, any flavor of the ice cream you want up here, you know, and everybody can go above and beyond. So I just feel like now it's a lot more respect, and women are really getting to like show out, and I can't wait to see where women's wrestling is going to be in the next 5 years.
Sometimes I like going last because it takes me some longer to process, but I'll say this very quickly. I got reminded Friday's panel. So, again, male dominated for, you know, my world. But then I remembered that I pioneered 2 things by myself before men even attempted to try. One was creating alternative wrestling t-shirts. It was me first, and you can Google that. 2, actually being a designer. It was a bunch of makers, and I had to fight to be respected. So I had to be the blueprint because nobody else like me. And so what I want to say to inspire other women in any space is don't wait for nobody, especially no man. Be the blueprint.
have you on the especially man part, but you know, let the time. So we know wrestling has historically, you guys mentioned things about being like pure-tex or just being the woman's card or woman. And so how would you say from previously, like historically, with this is now diversity in ethnicities or diversity in body size, diversities in just personalities, how would you say you guys have broken through those obstacles to still be your genuine, authentic selves while you guys are currently wrestling? And for you, Yolanda, because you do not wrestle, how would you say just being your authentic self in this, you know, in this part of the industry that you're in, because you're a designer, how would that have been for you as well?
I'm trying to think. I know I kind of answered this front, but the only thing I had to make sure, and I'll say this again, which was to make sure there's boundaries. I'm funny, I'm hilarious. I joke, but I don't play. Respect me, respect my professionalism, respect my time. You know, it was you know, something that I didn't get accustomed to because I was only a fan of, I've been a fan of wrestling since God knows how long, since Hogan had a cartoon. But in indie wrestling, I didn't really get into that until 07 and then started this in 08, 09. So I had a few years of being a fan in this world, in this realm. And I had to learn quick, everybody's not like you, Yolanda. Liars, BSers, and all that, right? So, so to figure out a way to have that balance. But what it didn't do is, thank goodness, I didn't allow pro wrestling to grow my spirit, because it can. So I still joke all the time and bring joy to the room. You know, if you don't know me for designing, you'll know that. You know what I mean? And I made it where I feel so comfortable just being me. I'm very lucky that nobody ever tried to play me to my face. Only had one instance somebody tried to play me online, and I did it that quickly, and it hasn't happened ever since. But as I've worked with a lot of wrestlers, female wrestlers, I understand that they had to go through a lot, even fans. Like, what was it, 2015, I'm hearing women getting bullied for just being a fan. And I'm like, I wish a so-and-so would. You know, but maybe because I just bring that song. But luckily I've been able to be my funny, sassy self. Anybody else want to have fun on this? Yeah.
I thought about it. I needed a minute to think about it. I want to have a decent answer going into this. It wasn't easy starting out to be my most authentic self because there definitely is an expectation of how you are supposed to act and what you are supposed to do. And if anybody has been with me long enough to remember when I first started out, I had gotten given a gimmick where I was a hockey player. Girl, I don't watch hockey. I don't know nothing about hockey. And like, I did my best with what I was given, but like, there would be times I'd be trying to like squeeze something in there and right away the crowd would be like, you don't watch hockey. Like, I know you don't. But it was getting away from that. Was like, I was glad to get away from that. I was like, oh cool, this is now the freedom to like do something different, to do like what I want to do, to be like the kind of wrestling that I like watching. But like with a lot of freedom, that's a lot of freedom to where it's like, so many people will give you that advice of like, your gimmick should be you, like turn up to 10. And I'm like, well, who am I? Like, I gotta figure out who the heck I am in that process. And I do feel like women's wrestling has evolved so much to where I have that space to figure that out, and where the audience and folks in the back are willing to like give that space and try and watch you do different things. Yolanda gave me like one of the best compliments that I got early in my career, where I was doing a story where I had to be a character that was really angry, and I did a lot of ugly crying in order to play this character. And after that show, Yolanda said to me that you were proud of me that I wasn't afraid to be ugly, which is definitely something that I I think a lot of people, like, we wouldn't have, like, been cool with any women's wrestlers, like, doing stuff like that. And it is definitely scary to look back on those photos and be like, wow, I look horrible. But I got the crowd to feel something. And that is truly, yeah, that is our job, is to entertain you guys first and foremost. So I'm afraid ADHD brain is gonna take over. And then I'm gonna get too far away from the original question. But it's still a journey to figure out what my most authentic self is. But it's a journey that I'm really enjoying, and I like all of this freedom that the crowd has allowed us to have. And I'm glad you guys are along for the journey as well.
I didn't know who or what my most authentic self was when I first started wrestling. So I created Sammi Chaos as someone to aspire to be. I still aspire to be Sammi Chaos every single day. When I step through the curtain, I'm still aspiring to be Sammi Chaos. Starting out, being a big girl in wrestling, it's showbiz. Being a big person in showbiz, it's not all that. And people will tell you right to your face what they think about that. And to piggyback off you, the whole being ugly and not being afraid to be ugly, it's almost like a superpower because you make people feel something. It's, at the end of the day, for me, it's not about moves. It's not about, you know, a sequence that we do. It's not about, you know, anything like that. It's about moments, and it's about making everybody in the crowd feel something, whether you're booing me, you're yelling at me, you're cheering me, you're whatever it is. I'm trying to make you all feel whatever it is and forget whatever is going on out there. So on my journey to become my most authentic self, I'm bringing y'all along with me. So every day it's something different, and every day is a work in progress. So aspire to be Sammi Chaos. That's a shirt. Put it on a shirt.
My wrestling journey in the beginning, I didn't exactly know how to fit my authentic self into my gimmick or my wrestling in itself. Similar to what Shea was saying before, I had a similar experience to my first gimmick wasn't picked by me, it was given. My trainer promoter at the time wanted me to be Rainbow Bright. Meanwhile, I was an all black goth, which I'm like, how? Why? Okay, sure. And I did the best I could and put on the mask or whichever, but it just didn't feel natural, didn't feel right. And even like learning how to do certain type of movesets that just felt different. There were some areas where I excelled in that I was familiar with from my experiences with martial arts. And once I was able to incorporate with that moveset as well, I started to feel that authenticity come in. Once I was able to slowly build and develop my character from there, like who exactly is Dolli Darko? Like there's multiple influences there, but how do I make it me? And the best part of what I've grown to realize recently as Dolli Darko is I realized, because I've come to realize that I can't just be one singular thing, and that's the best advice I can give for anyone who is getting into wrestling and developing a character, gimmick, and whatnot, and a style. Don't just be one singular thing. It's good to be a little bit of everything, have a little, say for example, a little bit of lucha and some other style, or different body types, how there's larger people and smaller people, and so many different diversity as well. At the end of the day, it's good to be everything, everywhere, all at once, through it all. Because it would be so lame and boring to just be one singular thing, right? Just to be a one-stick pony? Be different, be weird, be whatever you want to be what feels right in your chest, in the end of it.
I was gonna start off with a every day when you're walking down the street, but I stopped myself. I got it together. The one thing, it's hard being women, period. but it's also hard being a black woman in a predominantly white man's sport. So when I first started, the one thing that I just wanted to do was to give every little girl, no matter what color she was, but I really wanted to reach all the little black queens and princesses to literally show them that no matter what anybody tells you, as long as you stick to your grounds and as long as you stay motivated and as long as you keep pushing forward, no matter how much you get knocked backwards, you will achieve your goals. And the one thing with me of why I wanted to automatically always be authentic is because the thing in wrestling that you have to have that really makes or breaks you is relatability. And that's where a lot of people lose a lot of foundation when it comes to being relatability. I'm the type of person that I funded myself on being as authentic as possible because I love proving people wrong. I want you to look at me and be like, oh, she's a thick chick, so she's probably gonna move at the speed of sloth. And then as soon as I take off, it's like, oh my God, they can move. These are some fast, thick ass bitches. Look at them going. Let's go. So for me, I had no choice but to be authentic when I first came in here because I've always had a saying of, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And the one thing that I wanted to always leave every woman, every child, every person that came into the wrestling show, I wanted them to leave back out feeling a sense of hope, a sense of happiness, a sense of peace. Because we never know what a lot of wrestlers are going through. We don't even know what the fans are going through. You know, they just come and they want to be entertained. So staying authentic, it helps so many more people because you never know who is watching you. You never know who is following your journey. You never know who is paying attention. And the one thing that I've always learned is I always want to pay it back forward. I've been blessed enough to have a lot of people give me advice and lift me up when I was down. And it's 2026 now. Really think about things words back in 2000, 2005. 2010s, 2015s, and now we're in 2026, and it's different. It's not the size 6, you have all sizes, you have all colors, and the reason why it goes so great is because people be themselves. And if that's the one thing that I can say is, you want to always be yourself, because when you move to the beat of your own drum, it is going to be trying. That road is going to be by far shaky, but I promise you, when you get to the end of that road, you're gonna have your head held high, you're gonna be proud of everything that you've done because you stuck to your grounds and nobody will be able to take that away from you.
I think as a fan, some of the things we can say that get us invested in wrestling is either rivalries or storylines. And so, which women's rivalry storyline do you believe elevated women's wrestling and made it impactful for you guys and what you do?
I think I'm only gonna say it because she's my aunt, and if she sees this and I don't mention her, she's gonna punch me. Jazz beating up, making her way to WWF and just started taking out everybody, especially her feud with Trish was something that like I was really excited about because, you know, hey, you're always seeing these Barbie dolls and all of a sudden you see this beautiful chocolate goddess come out of nowhere and just start breaking ankles. I'm like, oh my God, yes, give us more. And then on top of it, she was beating up guys. Like she's throwing dudes 10 times her size. You know, it's like, I've never seen that, but I need more of that. And then it just kept elevating for me, like Bianca and Naomi, and you know, like those are two women that I feel like they don't get. I feel like Naomi doesn't get a lot of her flowers because legitimately, like not to hold anybody up, like I've been a fan of Naomi ever since she was a Funkadactic, you know, and she had that one. We ain't even gonna talk about her, but I just knew Naomi was destined for bigger things, and no matter what was thrown at her, Naomi came out on top. And just like we were talking about, not trying to get emotional, but like staying to your grounds and doing what's best for you. She wasn't happy and she left, and she did what was best for her. And no matter how much people talk, she stayed stuck to her ground. And she did her own journey, and now she came back on fire and like killed it. And that's just like something that it's a lot of motivation because it's really hard to not be in your head when you're a professional wrestler. because you want to entertain everybody. You want everybody to feel like they got their money's worth. You want people to feel just as important at an indie show as they would at a mainstream show or a WWE show or an AEW show. So it's like you really want people to feel like they matter, because at the end of the day, if there was no fans watching professional wrestling, we wouldn't have professional wrestling at all, you know? So I feel like when you have fans that love you and they rock with you no matter what, and they just tell you how much you motivate them, you want to keep doing the exact same thing. And so I feel like those women, even the Becky Lynches and the Nia Jax and the Awesome Kongs and the Gail Kims and the Audra Kongs and the Ludovishans and like the Hamadas and the Boy Nakanos, these are all amazing women that literally has set the pavement for women's wrestling in general. And like, you just gotta give credit what's credit's due.
I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. Girl, I'm so sorry.
I feel a lot of like the women's wrestling when it comes to rivalries and storytelling. If you look at like even far back as to like Sensational Sherry versus Luna Vachon, and how even back then it was harder for them to even get a moment on the card, and even with those little bits of moments on the outside of the ring, where you can look at two opponents and think, oh, those girls really hate each other, they're gonna kill each other. Those are the stories that like people invest in. Like if you look at even like Trish and Mickie James, for example, where you're like, ooh, she's lost it, like they're really gonna get that one. Or even if you look at today's wrestling, Toni Storm versus Mariah May, that whole storyline, the storytelling with it, the build-up of like Mariah May being the ingenue, looking up to Toni only to turn on her at the last moment to get that spotlight, taking influences from old Hollywood back in the day, the character development with that. You don't see too much of that every day, but in the storylines that do there, that's where you get the fans invested and that passion to build, to invest in these wrestlers, invest in the stories, and like, how did we get here? And it's not just people throwing and kicking and punching together, because it's not just about the moves and the strikes that come in the matches, it's the story and the feeling that comes with it.
Yeah. There you go. Let's go.
Let me go through my Rolodex.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Awesome Kong and the entire Knockouts division, specifically Gail Kim. I was told to study Awesome Kong, and just watching her from going from Japan to, TNA and then being done dirty in WWF. Just her and Gail Kim really, just anytime they were in the ring is just insanity. But yeah, Dom Matsumoto and Chigusa Nagayo is, oh my goodness, if you haven't watched the Netflix show on that, because I didn't even know who Dom Matsumoto was, and then I just binge watched everything. It's, like I said before, we want to make you feel something, and if I look like I'm friends with Dolli Darko, but then I'm in a ring with her and I'm supposed to be killing Dolli Darko, y'all not gonna believe me. So,
In a world where kayfabe is dying out.
kayfabe is dying out and I hate it, but I hate you. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate you too. The ladies, the girls are fighting.
All right, I am actually going to pick Bianca and Naomi storyline, but also for me, the more invested that the wrestlers are, and the more they understand who they are, the better for me to design for them. With Naomi, I loved her when what was it? Was it still called Tough Enough? Is it when I remember when she had the pink bang and the hair and the rest of the hair was black, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be something special. And it just felt like she was still trying to find her footing, right? And then, all right, now G got somebody knocked their ass on the car. Oh, shoot, what's happening? And they, them champions and da-da-da-da-da. Then we get to the point where they saying they only did it, and Bianca and her in the ring, and they, to tears, I'm invested, you know what I mean? And then, you know, finally, you know, Naomi says she hates her and all this good stuff, and now she evolves, and she figured it out, and it's delicious. And her gear changes, her makeup changes, her accessory changes. She's so committed to this character. She had, what was it John called? A rollie that was a scooter? You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff for people like me is like I chomp at the mother effing bit. And like, but I'm not a wrestler stealer. Like, Paz, who designs mostly her gear, he gets her, so I want him to stick with her, and if she want to holler, she can holler, that's fine. But other than that, but I love that. So, you know, kind of circle back to something earlier, like, man, once you understand who you are, you can sell water to a whale, and it's a beautiful thing.
So I can tell you, I don't think it was a rivalry per se. I guess it was a rivalry, because the rivalry was China versus Vince McMahon when she threw him out of the Rumble on Raw to get in the Royal Rumble. But it was the moment that made me want to be a wrestler, because China was my favorite. And I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. And it's the moment when she enters at number 30 in the Rumble, making her the first woman in the Royal Rumble. And now we have a woman in the Royal Rumble. That's pretty sick, right? But like, I remember watching as a kid and not really getting why women didn't also get in the Royal Rumble, because I was like, you guys go headline at WrestleMania. You're telling me none of the women want to do that? Why don't they get in the Royal Rumble? So when she did, she's got like this expression on her face, the way that she walks out there, right? She's got this expression of just like, I'm gonna win. I cannot be messed with right now. And it's the way, because people know she's coming out, and when the DX music hits, the crowd pops. She gets this incredibly loud pop. And that's part of what makes me emotional watching it, is because that's where I was like, oh, people want to see this. People want to see, you know, women in the Rumble, women in positions to where they could, you know, eventually maybe win the heavyweight title or main event Mania. And that's back in what? That was like 2000, 2001 when that happened. So like, I think people have always wanted to see that. It's just wrestling's had to catch up with what we want to see. And even then, like, after watching that, I was like, I want to see more intergender wrestling. I loved when China got to be in the ring with like Eddie and Jericho and those matches. And we didn't get a lot of that because, you know, I think a lot of the time people didn't think it would be believable. And so I was like, well, damn, I'm probably not going to get to do that because, like, as much as I do my best, I'm never going to be China size. People aren't going to believe that. But then I started watching the indies, and one of my all-time favorite matches is Heidi Lovelace versus Eddie Kingston. And it's a great match. It's on YouTube. It's free. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. But it's an incredible match of like Heidi working from underneath. And they played it like big man, small guy. And I was like, oh, all right. And the crowd's super into this. Maybe this is possible. So that's really what got me to start training, and I had the incredible privilege of getting to work with Heidi, Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho now, and yeah, that was just what really, those were the things that were very inspirational to me that made me think, oh, okay, maybe this is possible.
On my face, Naomi, day one, Naomi fan. So my last question, because we have a few minutes before the show has to start, my last question is what legacy, or what would you want to leave to the future girlies coming into the wrestling space, no matter what their job may be?
I know I got the mic first. It's a lot of pressure. Especially my legacy, what I want little girls to be able to like come to the show and look in the ring and feel like they can do it. Like, it makes me so happy seeing little girls coming to the show now, because I got bullied for liking wrestling, especially like it's a boy thing. Like, you know, you're not supposed to like stuff like that. So when I see little girls at the shows and their parents are encouraging them to, you know, like we were saying, be their most authentic self and like enjoy the things that they enjoy, which like all sorts of other things. We're at Fan Expo, come on. That just makes me happy to see more. I want to see more like diversity in the crowd. I want to see more of like little girls. I want to see more girls, gays and nays. I want to see like a very diverse crowd out there.
That's what I'm working on. You'll get good, you're okay.
Oh man, mine's technically like a work in progress because I'm at the point of like, well, damn, what we doing next? Well, the one part of the legacy is for sure that I did not have to be a terrible person to get to a great grand place. That's one. I didn't have to compromise. If anything, I'm in my own way, and I advise the young people or anybody who wants to have any goals to achieve to get out of their head as faster than I did. But I definitely want a legacy that I helped bring people up and if they can be better than me, that would be amazing. So there you go.
I think just part of a legacy I'd like to leave is it doesn't matter if you feel weird or too big or too small or too whatever the hell it is, you can do literally whatever the fuck you want.
Talk that shit. Yes.
Literally don't let anyone tell you you can't, because I'm literally doing this. And a few years ago, I was working at a Starbucks thinking that that's all I was gonna do for the rest of my life. And now I'm literally living out a dream that a little Sammi Chaos couldn't have even fathomed. So, yeah. Well, I can make a mean espresso, so like start
Coffee.
The legacy that I want to leave, besides leaving the business better than it came in, is I want to be a source of representation that I didn't get to have or experience growing up. Like, as a little girl, there wasn't really, not just in wrestling, but in the entertainment industry, people that really looked like me, being a first-gen Filipino-American. Like, there wasn't really much besides Batista, maybe. He was in wrestling, for example. And now how it's diversified more and that I get to be a part of that, and along with like people like Lynn Laurel and Geiko Kim, Maya Kim, and so much more, even the Joshi wrestlers coming up. And for little girls who look at me like, hey, we can do this, being an Asian American, being neurodivergent, being queer American, just being different, but still being my authentic self, and like showing those girls who relate to that, like, hey, I can do this no matter where you come from, no matter what adversity and hardships, after all the adversities, to know that I can make it to the other side, I can make it to the top. And like, if I can do this, if someone like me can do this, who thought they could just be a screw up forever, if I'm able to make it, then you can too, you know?
A few things I want to leave for my legacy. One is thick ass bitches run shit. Yes. All day. I don't care what y'all say. Yes. Just in case y'all don't know, me and Sammi Chaos, we are a tag team. We are called Tag. We are thick ass bitches, respectfully. Yes. Our thickness coming to a wrestling show near you. Even on top of that, like, to every girl that is here, no matter race, no matter size, I want you to know that you matter. You are beautiful inside and out, and if anybody tells you otherwise, they can eat a bag of dicks. I am happy that every last one of you women are here. You're going to shine, and just know, trust the process. It's going to be hard. Becoming great is not easy, and it's not for just everybody. But if you want to literally put your own legacy out there in the universe. Keep pushing. Keep swimming. And surround yourself around positive people that want to see you win. Because a lot of people always talk about, and I'm gonna get out of here because I know I can get into it or not. A lot of people talk about, hey, I came in this world by myself and I'm gonna leave by myself. Let me go ahead and give you a news flash. No, you didn't. It took two people to come together to create you. And even after that, it took somebody to hold you in their womb for 9 months. And even after that, when you was birthed, you had to help being birthed, which means there is somebody here and there's people here to help each other. But you have to allow those people to help you, because we're in a world today now to where it's crazy for people to be there for somebody, because if I'm there for you, then I'm giving you a pity party. No, baby, everybody needs help. Even the superheroes have weaknesses. You know, the Man of Steel is by far like the strongest people ever, but he turns really weak when it comes to kryptonite. So all the women in here and all the men in here, keep pushing. Nobody knows what you were going through, and I promise you, all of that depression, all of that anxiety, all of that not feeling like you matter, it is all in your head. Every last one of y'all in here matter, and y'all are loved, and thank y'all so very much for letting us come up here and talk about wrestling to every last one of y'all. And I just really want this world to be a better place in general. Thank you.
I would love to open the floor for questions, but there's a show at 3, so I cannot. But I did want to say, I think, as I kind of said on Friday, the reason why I do these is because I grew up watching wrestling. I definitely got teased a little bit in junior high school for wanting to, you know, marry Jeff Hardy. We're not going to talk about that joke. And, you know, there was there, you know, he might get divorced one day, you know, maybe. I wanted to, and it was like, oh my God, you know, and like, I do like that stuff too, but I do love me to see Jeff Hardy, and I love Lita, and I like seeing The Rock with Peeps eyebrow, and I love Shawn Michaels, and so, you know, I definitely understand that, but I am very fortunate. I never thought I'd be in wrestling. In the wrestling business, I do not wrestle, but being able to just, I did a favor for somebody in 2020, and it led to me getting introduced to promoters. Like, maybe you could do backstage. I'm like, well, why? We don't need me. And it's like, of course we do. And now I'm, you know, this, you know, professional but fiery person, Katrina Storm, and sometimes Patricia. Who knows? And just, I just want to make sure that we can have the spaces for women in wrestling. There's a lot of us out here who like wrestling, who are just as diehard of a fan, who's still screaming at TVs and pissed off that, you know, Bret Hart was screwed. Not me, because I love Shawn. Sorry, guys. But you know, there's somebody upset about, you know, Bret Hart being screwed still, and we're out there, and we're again like these ladies up here have been so badass. Yolanda making gear for Cody Rhodes. Sammi goes up 5-belt champion, guys. Dolli Darko is so small but so fierce. Shea, I got to see some of your work and absolutely love your energy. And then Lala is ruthless as she is, and so I'm just grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me, coming on my panel and talking to everybody here, and to you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the